everyone, it's that low brass guy, and in this video we're going to talk about transferring from trumpet to euphonium. So let's get ready to start our adventure. First of all, what is a euphonium? This is a euphonium. It's a member of the tuba family. It plays in the same range as the trombone. So for you trumpet players, that will be a lot lower than you're used to. It uses a much bigger mouthpiece than the trumpet. It's the same size as a trombone mouthpiece. Now, you play it in exactly the same way, the same embouchure as the trumpet, but the lips aren't quite as close together. And it plays much lower. So the first thing you should do is take your euphonium mouthpiece and buzz on it and try to get as low a pitch as you can. Try buzzing on the mouthpiece for several minutes, then we're ready to go. You place the mouthpiece in the instrument and never hit the mouthpiece like that. You rest the euphonium on your left leg, your feet are flat on the floor, and you bring the mouthpiece to your mouth. You don't bend over, you sit up straight, bring the mouthpiece to your mouth. The left arm wraps around the body of the instrument like you're hugging it, and it just holds it in that position. The right hand goes on the valves. Very important to understand the right hand position. Your right hand should always be like this, like the letter C. The valves need to go straight up and down. You can actually damage the valves if you're flat-fingered or you're pushing the valve to the side. So always straight up and down, and the tips of the fingers should always be touching the valves. Now we're ready to play some notes. I'm going to bring the instrument up to playing position. The first thing you should do is practice that very lowest note. Just play that and hold it for a real long time. Make sure you're playing the lowest note that you can open with no vowels down. Then try the next highest note open. Play that for a really long time and then go back and forth between those notes. And then play the next highest note open. Play that for a really long time, and then play all three notes, moving back and forth. Then press down the second valve and do exactly the same thing. Then press the first valve down and do the same thing. Then the 1-2 valve combination. Now, let's try a scale. You learned the C scale on trumpet. We're going to use the same fingerings to play a B flat scale on the euphonium, starting on the lowest note. Look at my fingers, and you'll see I'm using the exact same fingerings you use for the C scale on the trumpet. So you can practice that without having to read any music and try to get the best sound that you can. Make sure you always take a deep breath. You want to play about medium loud, not too soft, not too loud, and try to get as nice a sound as you can. Another thing you can do to practice is simply move the valves in order to gain strength and coordination in your fingers. The euphonium valves are twice as big as the trumpet valves, so it's going to take a little bit more effort and a little bit more time to push them down. So you can just go 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Just practice that. And of course you can do that during band class when you have you're not playing and other people are playing, in addition to fingering your notes, just to gain strength and coordination in your fingers. It is a very good thing to do because you will find when you first start out, because the valves are so much larger, that your fingers will be moving more slowly. So let's start learning the notes on the bass clef. This is a bass clef. It is actually an F. If you think of this as the back of the F, and these two dots as being the two lines coming from the F, that shows you this fourth line is an F, which you'll see over here. You see that note going through the fourth line. So here are the notes and the fingerings. First of all, we start with B flat. The fingering is open. On a fingering chart, the O means open, no valves down. The A is the second valve, G, 1 and 2, F, open, E flat, first valve, D, 1 and 2, C, 1 and 3, and B flat again open. The B flat, F, and the lower B flat are all open. You'll notice that the B flats are 8 notes away from each other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The note names repeat every 8 notes, and for that reason we call this an octave, from the Italian word for eighth. The 8th note repeats the note name. Now you will notice this pattern is exactly the same pattern of fingerings you used for the C scale on the trumpet. In addition to using a different clef, the euphonium also has different note names for the same fingering combinations. You'll notice that the fingering for B flat is the same as it was for C on the trumpet. The note names are exactly 1 note lower on the euphonium. So the fingering for A is the same fingering as B on the trumpet. G is the same fingering as A, F is the same as G, E flat the same as F, D is the same as E, C is the same as D, and back to B flat, which was the same as C in the lower octave. Now, it's not a good idea to keep thinking of this each note you play. You really need to train your brain so you see a note on the top of the staff and you think, that's a B, B flat. On the 5th line, that's an A. So you learn the notes the same way you did for trumpet, and as soon as you can train your brain simply to learn the notes on the new clef, the better. Don't keep going, oh, that's the same as a C. Oh, that's the same as an A, because it will really slow you down and you'll never be able to get where you need to be. So now you're ready to go. My suggestion is you now take your band book and start with exercise number 1 in the euphonium book, and just go through every exercise you've already done, but on the euphonium, reading bass clef with the euphonium fingerings. And you'll find it goes very quickly, doesn't happen in one day, but if you work on it a little bit every day, you'll find probably in just a couple of weeks or less, you'll be reading the new clef and playing the new notes. And of course, as always, practice, practice, practice. Have fun.